Yesterday, we read the first stanza. The poet described the condition of a lover. The lover wanted some physical advances from his beloved. The beloved denied it, and here the lover makes the argument. Remember that the time for pleasure has gone for them. The lover regrets. He tries to explain that things might have been in their favor. Why they should have had pleasure. He said that life is short and youth is also very short. Things will go away with the youth and the energy, the zest, the enthusiasm for life is there. They will also go. Hence, she should have cooperated with the lover. Metaphysical poetry is having the aspects of conceit, exaggeration, mystic elements, religious elements, abrupt beginning, such kind of things. Some of them are found here. The poem also begins. As we make the progression in the poem, we come to know the situation and that the lovers must be sitting together at a private place. And the lover must have talked to the lover for physical reunion, and she must have denied it. In that reference, the poem begins. It means things have already gone, things have already passed. Her denial is already there. And then this uh, monologue, you can say, appears. It seems to be a dramatic monologue as well because there are characters and the lover is speaking, beloved is listening, uh, dialogues are there, but that dialogue is made of the only one person. That's why we call it a monologue. So we come to know the reference, context, background, abrupt beginning, we can say, is found there. It is the language of a lover. But if we read or when we come across the um, speech or the saying of the lover, it seems that the lover is very much intellectual. He makes a show of his knowledge that shows that the lover must be coming from the higher family, from a noble family. And this is also a tendency of metaphysical poetry, display of learning. The poet makes a show of his learning, and that's why the narrator of the metaphysical poetry is very intellectual. He is having reasons, and those reasons only a person of high intellect can think, and that's what we find here. Examples like till the conversion of Jews, common people cannot think about it. Then the my vegetable love, then empire, uh, it is slower than the such things. These phrases show that the lover belongs to the high class. Means he is very much intelligent to convince his beloved. Then uh, we also come to know the particular documentation of the time. Andrew Marvell was the member of parliament, and that's why reference of this is what we see in the particular poem. Then exaggeration is found that each part of the body requires a lot of and then the last stage should show beloved's heart. This is again shows the worth of the beloved, the importance. She is also a woman of high stature. Maybe Lord Shiva and the deity Parvati, their love. Ultimately, we see the God's face. That is how love is also a process. That process has been explained to us. So, this is the first stanza. Rhyme scheme. Here you will find couplets. Most of the metaphysical poetry follows this particular tendency, and that is uh, A, B, B, C, C, that sort of couplet you see. For example, if we read the first stanza, then uh, ending of the lines, yonder all before us lie. These lines are remarkable in the poem. They have become very much popular. What does the poet say? He alludes here time. Time is a personified. Time is sitting in the chariot, and this person, time, the reference to death. Time as god of death. Here the poet says that at my back, it is hurrying near in the chariot. It shows that death is constantly following to us all the time. You realize it that death has not gone far away. It is follows you, and the person is no more. It means a person is always having the ideas of one's death anytime. So we are all conscious about death at each step. And the person who is aware of this reality that anytime death may capture and one has to leave the world and the person has not lived the life. So better you lead the life, eat fruits of life, harvest the corn of life. That is what here indicated. And this is the thing, philosophical thing. The narrator is telling to the beloved. As I told you, that the narrator is full of reasons. He is having arguments. And here the narrator is that sort of a person who is having philosophical touch, a man of knowledge. That's why he is talking this philosophy. Andrew Marvel brings in this philosophy. Metaphysical poetry reflects this. So, when death is following constantly at each moment, a person would not waste anything. Not a single moment he would like to waste. So, at my the god of death, time, that is riding the chariot, but the chariot is having wing, it following. And what would happen? And yonder, all before us, lie deserts of vast eternity. And before us, the world, like desert, full of eternity, may be lying here. Means then everything would be here before you, but death will take away you. Things would be here, but you will not be there to enjoy the life. Whatever things are there, they are not helpful to you at all. Whether it is the worldly thing or it is the matter of eternity. What is the use when you are not here? Here, the narrator wishes that she should understand this philosophy. She should have thought about it. Life is very short. Thy beauty shall no more be found, nor in thy marble vault shall sound my echoing song. 2.5 lines. Thy beauty shall no more be found. When a person dies, beauty may be of a beauty, but that beauty, when one dies, thy beauty will go away. So better you use your brevity of beauty and brevity of death have been mentioned by narrator. So think the beauty will go away, and not only beauty will go in thy marble vault. Marble vault, that is the phrase here. Vault is here, the heart. Marble vault. Marble is the stone, we know. But here, the heart. Perhaps the writer wants to show that your heart may be very good, maybe having beauty of the heart, and coolness perhaps may be there, or uh, maybe other things related to marble may be available there. But in that marble vault, my echoing soul will not be there. Means a heart should reflect the lover's heart, a lover's voice, lover's wishes, or things that those they are in the lover's heart will also be found into the beloved's heart. So hearts of the two people will be the same one, but in your heart, in your marble vault, things would be not there. So what is the use of this? Shall sound my echoing song. Here it is the adverbial nor. Then worms shall try. Then what will happen if you don't use your? Then worms shall try that long preserved virginity. Worms shall try. When? When person dies, one is put into the tomb, and then in tomb, anybody's body decays because worms will take a place. They devour the body. Beautiful, rich, or very powerful, or you have followed the particular customs of the society, whatever it may be, but things will go away. And that sort of body, even you have preserved the social customs or coyness or chastity or concept of virginity, whatever you have followed, that body would be tried by the worms. Ultimately, your body will be eaten up. Long preserved virginity. Look, you have preserved virginity, but what will be the use? Ultimately, here, this is the philosophy, cavalier philosophy, that virginity, ultimately with the decaying of the body, virginity will also be decayed. With the loss of the life, everything would be lost. So better the things you use when there is a life. So that is the main idea that wants to say to the lover, that forget about virginity. Think about the sweetness of life. Think about the pleasures. Life is very short. Youth is very short. Let us be happy. Make merry. And your quaint honor turn to dust and into of not a good reputation, only showy, uh, quiver, strange, and you say it is honor, but it is not honor. The writer, the narrator is it in a negative term. What sort of honor is this? It is not to be maintained. It is a quaint honor. Means it is your wrong concept to preserve the virginity. Forget about that honor. And if you follow it, then what will happen? Turn to dust. Honor will go ultimately into the earth. It will turn into dust. Dust means here again indicating the death, tomb. So, however, honor you have, whatever honor you have, whatever the coyness you have preserved, chest. So, so called honor will go away. And on the contrary, you have preserved honor. On my side, I have lust for life, lust for pleasure. And that lust should be satisfied, and things would not be there. And ultimately, that will also turn into dust. Your honor will turn into dust, and my honor will also turn into ashes. Ashes means dust. Again, bringing end to everything. body and physique and soul, everything uh, will be no more there for the life. So this is the second stanza. It continues, the graves a fine and private place, but none, I think, do their embrace. These lines have become again very much popular in the uh, literary world, and it says that death is a thing that brings a union of people, maybe two lovers or husband and wife, two friends or two great people who are having very close affinity during the life. They may die, but their tombs may be also lying nearby, beside each other, close to another tomb. It is also a private place. Look, a wonderful thing. Tomb is considered a private place because nobody would enter into one's tomb. Tomb is one's own grave. Grave is a private place. But what happens? In one's grave, nobody can go, nobody can enter. It means even though you are a friend, crony, lover, your tomb will be separate. There will be two tombs side by side, but there will be no union. And this is what the lover wishes to explain his beloved, that we will die. Our tombs will be also put together nearby each other, but we will not be able to meet in tomb. No people can come together. So it's a private place, but there you cannot embrace the another. It means the things which after death does not happen, cannot take a place. Here is the life. We can have time and we can do this. Means better we have pleasure of life, sweetness of the life before we die. Because after death we do not know what will happen. We won't be able to even hug each other, embrace each other. So tomb is a private place, but none can embrace it there. We have not found any example that two lovers have come together in their tombs. So that's what the philosophy the narrator puts before. So this is the death, eternity, and the concepts related to time and shortness of our life, etc. So these are the things, philosophical things put into the poem. Mystic elements also we find that death comes and we do not know what happens in tomb, because after death we do not know what things we get or what we don't. We are unable to come back and tell to the people. So things after death have always remained unknown. That is also indicated here. The last stanza. Now, therefore, look the conclusion. After these examples, I conclude my arguments that now, therefore, while the youthful hue sets on thy skin like a morning dew, comparison, simile, like morning dew. Youth is compared with dew, morning dew. It doesn't last long, perhaps maybe some time, 10 to 15 minutes. Dew is found early in the morning. As soon as the sun rises, sun begins to spread the rays, the dew will disappear. As dew goes within short time, our youth, they will, it will also go away. So very short period has been indicated by this way. Therefore, while youthful hue means color, color means a youthful color, means youth. That is how the poem tells or reveals. Now, therefore, while the youthful hue sits on thy skin like a morning dew, personification of the seats, means found. And while thy willing soul transpires at every pore with instant fires, and when in that youth, as if our soul is trying to come out, full of energy from each pore of the skin, it wants to come out. Means the energy of the body and soul is so much powerful that we want to embrace the each part of the life. We want to the life at its fullest. We want to enjoy. There is so much energy in it. So when that energy is found into your body, let's enjoy the life. That is what he says. And every pour with instant fires. Fire for life means wishes, strong desires that we need to complete. Now let us sport us while we may. Look, he says, let us. Now, sport is the word used. Sport means for some period you enjoy passing time or not taking very much seriously. Just enjoy the life. That is sport or pleasure. Um, while we may means as much as time we have, and as much energy and strength we have left, we should take the sport. We should take the pleasure of life. Here again, I remind you that here sport and pleasures of life means a physical reunion with the woman. And now, like amorous birds of prey, again, comparison. How should we take the pleasure of life? Like amorous birds of prey. Two things have been found here. One is birds of prey. Means there are some birds which make prey, kill other uh, small creatures, and that way they satisfy their need. So, like a preyful bird, killing birds. Another is the amorous birds. Here, birds are full of amor. Amor means sexual desires, love, wishes for physique. As lustful human beings, lovers, let us attack on our prey, on our kill. Rather, at once, our time devour. Like birds, we should enjoy the life. Otherwise, our time would devour, time would take us away. Then languish in a slow chopped power. What time wants to do? What will do? Time is having an axe. It cuts down. The word is used chopped, chopping and chopping. Each moment, time makes a blow with an axe, and each blow cuts us, kills us. So the word is chopped, killing and killing. It shows the constant fear of death. The languish in his slow chopped power. Let us roll all our strength. And then he says that let us roll our strength, make a ball, and let our strength come out. Let us roll all our strength and all our sweetness, our pleasures with a rough stripe. Let us bring out our strength, make a ball of it, a sweet ball. Let us all energy of our body, of life, come out and make a ball, sweet ball, and tear our pleasures with a rough stripe through the iron gates of life. And the life is covered by iron gates. It is prisoned, rather imprisoned by the iron gates. Means here, iron gates indicate the limitations of human beings. And let us remove, even though the gates are very strong, powerful iron gates, we will make a sweet ball of our life and we will roll it. So sweetness will go all over the world. Thus, though we cannot make our son stand still, yet we will make him run. This thing can be done. You cannot make the sun stand or still. It is beyond our capacity. But what we can do is that we can run the life. We can push the ball of life, and that ball is made of sweetness. It means let us carry the life at its best. Let us make the best things of life into a ball and roll everywhere. Sweetness would be spread. That is how the poet wishes to say. uh, I want to discuss the poem a little bit more, uh, but uh, if you have any questions, we can do it. But things would be that the brevity of life has been mentioned, and the poet narrator wishes that she should have enjoyed the life. That brings the end of the poem. Yes. So the poem is a metaphysical one. Title indicates the what is there in the poem. Metaphysical elements, as I have already mentioned, we discussed about them. The most important thing is that the arguments made by the lover, they are very powerful, very strong, and he must have convinced the lady, but they had, but it has been wasted perhaps. Difficult to say whether after these arguments she might have submitted to him or not. But we can say that how wonderfully a lover puts his arguments to beloved. That's what Andrew Marvell is. Uh, as metaphysical poetry is having two contrasting things. One is thinking about God, holy sonnets, as John Donne did. Same way, on the other side, we find the poems of love regarding physical union, etc. So, two contrary things are also found, and this poem is an example. No doubt, John Donne's poems, Ecstasy, Flee, they are also having these aspects. So, that we have to analyze the poem uh, to His Coy Mistress. This poem has remained mm, remarkable not only of metaphysical poetry but also Andrew Marvell's poem. It has brought uh, almost immortality to the poet. So, um, regarding grammatical sections, we find that some of the adjectives, phrases, they are remarkable. Some of the phrases have been used in literary works, as I have mentioned in the earlier lecture. But that makes the poetry diction very much rich, as the experience is rich, the feelings are rich, they are powerful. That makes the poem rich and powerful. If the intensity of the feelings are weak, then things would not be like that. So that is what regarding grammatical section, and other literary things like personification, uh, biblical references, I have already mentioned. So thank you very much. Have a good time.